Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're not just talking about reports. We're talking about building something, a blueprint for trust in the world of sustainability reporting. So, let's get into it. We're all swimming in data, right? And for companies, that creates a huge challenge. How do you report on your impact in a way that people, your customers, your investors, your employees, can actually believe? It all boils down to this one big question. How do you build a truly trustworthy sustainability report? Well, that's exactly where the Global Reporting Initiative, or GRI, comes in. They've essentially created an architectural blueprint for this very thing. Think of it as a guide to building transparency and credibility right from the ground up. So, here's how we're going to walk through this blueprint. We'll start with the overall reporting system, then dig into the universal foundation. After that, we'll see how different sectors fit in, get into the nitty-gritty of specific topics, see how it all connects, and then wrap up with why any of this actually matters. Okay, first up, let's get a bird's eye view of the whole structure. What does this blueprint really look like? The key idea here is that this is not some single, heavy, rigid rulebook. Instead, think of the GRI standards as a set of interconnected building blocks, kind of like Legos. This modular design is so clever because it allows for both standardization and flexibility, letting companies build a report that's specific to them, but still easy to compare with others. The whole system is basically broken down into three distinct tiers. At the very bottom, you have the universal standards. This is the foundation for everyone, no exceptions. In the middle, you've got sector standards, which give industry-specific guidance, and then at the top, you have topic standards, which add all the specific, crucial details. So let's start at the base of our structure and see how this foundation is actually laid with those universal standards. These are the absolute non-negotiables. Any organization, doesn't matter what size, where they are, or what industry they're in, must use these three standards if they want to say they're reporting in accordance with GRI. They literally set the rules of the game for everybody. And these three standards create a really logical flow. GRI 1, called Foundation, lays out all the core principles. GRI 2, General Disclosures, is where the company kind of introduces itself, what it does, how it's run. Then GRI 3, Material Topics, gets right to the heart of it, figuring out what's most important for that specific company to report on. And that is such a key concept. It's all about identifying a company's most significant impacts. Okay, with that universal foundation solidly in place, the next layer of our architecture adds that industry-specific context. And this is where these sector standards come into play. Honestly, these standards are a massive shortcut to better reporting. They analyze an entire industry and give companies a list of topics that are likely to have the most significant impacts. It really helps them focus on what truly matters for their particular line of business. And you can see the kinds of industries we're talking about here. GRI is clearly prioritizing sectors with the highest potential impacts, from energy and mining all the way to food production, to make sure the most critical issues are being addressed first. Now, this is a really crucial point. These are not just helpful suggestions or nice-to-haves. If a sector standard exists for your industry, you are required to use it. This makes sure that all the companies in a high-impact sector are being held to the same rigorous standard of transparency. All right, let's look at the final set of building blocks in our structure, the topic standards. This is where the report gets its unique, finishing details. So once a company knows what it needs to report on, its material topics, it turns to these standards to understand how to report on them. Each topic standard provides a sort of menu of specific disclosures for a single issue. And these topics cover a huge range of issues: economic, environmental, and social. An organization just selects the standards that match up with its material topics. This lets them build a report that is, and this is pretty cool, both highly customized and completely standardized at the same time. Okay, so let's put all the pieces together now. How does an organization actually move through this architecture to build its report?
The whole process is designed to flow logically, almost like a funnel. You start with the broad, universal rules that apply to absolutely everyone. Then you narrow your focus by using the sector standard to see what's expected for your industry. And finally, you select the specific topic standards you need to report on your unique material impacts.
Now, this entire system, everything, hinges on this one critical concept: material topics. And this is a really key distinction. It's not about what's financially important to the company's bottom line. It's about what represents the company's most significant impacts, positive or negative, on the world around it. Figuring these out is the engine that drives this entire process. So why go to all this trouble? Why is this structured architectural approach so incredibly important for the future of sustainability? Well, because for years, sustainability reporting was kind of the Wild West. Companies could cherry pick just the good news, data was all over the place, and it was basically impossible to compare one company's report to another. This structured system is designed to solve those exact problems and raise the bar for everyone.
This quote from GRI really just hits the nail on the head. By creating a clear public benchmark of what's important for an entire industry, these sector standards make it much, much harder for a single company to just ignore a difficult but really significant issue. It creates a powerful expectation of transparency.
And really, that's the ultimate goal here. When everyone is building their rapport using the same architectural blueprint, the final product is reliable information. It's data that investors, customers, employees, and communities can actually use to make smart, informed decisions about a company's real-world performance.
So the blueprint is there, the foundation is set, and the scaffolding is in place. I think the big question now is, what will organizations build with it? How will they use this architecture to construct a genuinely more sustainable future for all of us?